I don't want you guys falling victim to the Dominican trap, okay? And I get it, guys. Dominican women are some of the most attractive women on the planet, okay? I will not deny that. They're up there with the Colombians, the Colombianas, and the Brazilian girls. They're up there. They're definitely up there. They got body and everything. However, it's a lot of attitude and entitlement that comes with them, okay? And I don't think long-term this is a good idea.
Hey, Jamie Woods, we here to travel and motivate. No curry, we just trying to keep our minds in a golden state. We answer to nobody but the Lord, we control our fate. Too many things to see just to sit in a hole and bake. We growing, ayy.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Jamie Woods back at. Shout out to my Patreon subscribers, and today's gonna be a heavy hitter. Today I'm gonna be talking to you guys about the reason as to why I don't like to date Dominican women from the island. Okay, if y'all know my content and y'all been watching my videos for a while, you would know that I always speak badly about dating Dominican women from the island, okay? And it's not because I hate my own race. As you guys know, I'm Dominican, okay? I don't hate my race. I love Dominican culture. I love Dominican people. However, this video is a cautionary tale. It's a cautionary video for any of you guys that are thinking of getting in a relationship with these girls, or maybe you're currently in a relationship, or maybe even a marriage with one of these girls from out in the island. And I'm not saying that they're all like this, but a majority of them are like this, okay? So this is coming from a Dominican man, okay, that's dealt with Dominican women all his life. I've dated many, all right, here in the United States and away in the island. I speak the language fluently, okay? So I know how these girls are very well, like the back of my hand, okay? And a lot of you guys are going to come on this video and you're going to complain and say that I'm capping, that I'm lying, this, that, whatever. But one, a lot of you guys don't even speak the language, so you don't know what's being said behind closed doors or behind your back or even in front of you. Sometimes they might be talking a lot of shit in front of you on the phone to their mom or whoever, calling you all sorts of names, calling you an idiot, whatever, and you would never know because you don't speak the language. And two, you don't hang around these women long enough because a lot of you guys just seek out P for P. Right? Either that or some type of thing where she comes over for a day, she leaves. You're not around them long enough to understand all the sides of them, okay? Or different sides of them, I meant. All right, so this video is to protect my brothers, to protect my people, okay? Because I don't want you guys falling victim to the Dominican trap, okay? And I get it, guys. Dominican women are some of the most attractive women on the planet, okay? I will not deny that. They're up there with the Colombians, the Colombianas, and the Brazilian girls. They're up there. They're definitely up there. They got body and everything. However, it's a lot of attitude and entitlement that comes with them, okay? And I don't think long-term this is a good idea. I would compare Dominican women to African American women here in the United States, okay? The same way y'all complain about the sisters here in the United States. Well, you know what the equivalent to that is worldwide? That's Dominican women. Dominican women act the same way like the sisters here in the United States do. But y'all would never know that because you don't speak the language and you're not familiar enough with the culture. All right? So let me educate y'all real quick, okay? From the moment these women are born, their moms teach them and condition them to using men, okay? They teach them how to treat a man, such as serving a man, cooking for a man, cleaning for a man. So that's what y'all see. That's what y'all see, right? Obviously, because that's nonverbal. Okay, they're doing things for you. They're washing your dishes, washing your laundry, whatever, and you're like, oh my god, like Dominican women, they're the best. They're the best of the best. But you don't understand their language and you don't understand the culture. All right, there's another side to this you guys aren't seeing. Okay, it's a setup for the trap that eventually comes down the line. It might be in a year's time, 2 years' time, 10 years' time, whatever. But here's what I mean by that. As I said, these women from a very young age are taught to use a man. So they'll give you what you want, but at a cost. So you have to pay for a bunch of different things, okay? Cool, whatever. A lot of you guys got money. You'll pay for it, no problem, whatever, right? But here comes the problem. When you go back to the United States, guess what they're doing? 10 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, they're definitely cheating on you. Okay, they got a local Dominican man that's out there that is giving her the joystick, if you know what I mean. They out here going to Pound Town behind your back as you're paying for everything for this chick. You're supporting her. You probably are paying for the roof over their head, whatever. And she's out here getting pounded, face on the pillow, boogers and snot coming out as Raphael is clapping. Okay. And that happens a lot in the Dominican Republic. Another trap that happens a lot in the Dominican Republic is the baby scam, where they'll get another man to knock them up, and they'll say it's your baby. They'll say, "Oh, you knocked me up, so now you got to pay for my lifestyle. You got to pay for everything. You got to support the child." Right? They'll say it was you, when in reality it was another man, and you would never know. Right? It happened to a lot of guys where they'll get a phone call from the chick, and the chick will be like, "Hey, papi, I'm just letting you know I'm pregnant. It's your child. You got to support." Right? And if you say no, now you look like the bad guy. If you say yeah, now you're the fool. You're falling for it. And by the time you realize, it might be too late. You know what I mean? So they do this a lot in the Dominican Republic, okay? There's a song in the Dominican Republic by this artist, this big dembow artist. I don't know if you guys know what dembow is. Dembow is almost like, think about it as Brazilian funk, but the Dominican version of it. It's kind of like hip-hop a little bit. Like they're a form of hip-hop. It's a unique music style out there. But basically, a lot of the lyrics are usually bad. So there's a lot of females that are diving into this sound. One of them, the most popular one, her name's 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞. Okay, 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞, La Vidad. Her name's La Vidad. So 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞, the viral, whatever. So this girl has a song that is called Quiere Chapa. Quiere Chapa, toma chapa. Quiere Chapa, toma chapa. Do you guys know what chapa is? What that means? Okay. So chapa is short for chapiadora. Chapiadora. Okay, chapiadora is a term that's often associated with Dominican women specifically. All right, and it's done for a reason. This comes from Dominican men. Okay, so this comes from their own men that call them chapiadoras, because chapiadora, what that basically means is gold digger. Okay, like a kind of like a gold digger, another form to say gold digger. And these type of women, the chapiadoras or the chapis, will literally use these men up for everything they got. And the minute that the guy runs out of money, the minute that the milk dries up or the juice dries up, they're out. And they're going to the next rich guy, and they're using him for his money and running him dry. Okay? It's kind of like a make his pockets hurt type of thing. Y'all ever heard that make his pockets hurt song? Make his pockets hurt. Well, that quiere chapa, toma chapa, quiere tapa. Like that's literally the same thing, the same vibe, same energy. That's why I'm saying these Dominican women are just like the sisters. Okay, y'all think it's different, and I think that's why a lot of y'all are into Dominican women the most out of all of them, and that's because Dominican women remind y'all of the sisters. The only difference between the sisters and the Dominican women, the price is cheaper. They speak a different language. Kind of a different culture, but mainly they actually do things for you. All right, so they'll give you a foot massage, they'll cook for you, and they cook very well, by the way. They'll clean, all that. That's why y'all love them, for all these reasons I just stated. But like I said, there's another side to this. They will literally run you dry if you allow them to, and it actually, you're better off just dating a sister, right? Because the sisters, you find yourself a good one, you'll be fine. But these girls, most of them, 9 out of the 10 that you'll meet will run you dry. Okay. And this is what I mean by that. Let's dive into the main point. Now that I went to that point, is I know so many men that have brought over Dominican women from the island to the United States. They married him here in the United States. Within a year, 2, 3 years, divorced. They'll have a kid or two, divorced. Or the girl's just cheating on him behind his back. Right? It just never ends up well. And then the divorce goes through. She's taking half your shit. Now she's well off. She's not marrying ever again. And she's going to be living with another man. And that man's going to benefit off of you. All right. Usually the man that she cheats on you with, whether it's in DR or whether it's here, usually doesn't have as much as you do, which is like a plot twist, right? They'll get a man that got a ton of money, and they'll cheat on that man with a man that got nothing. And usually the man is usually Dominican or maybe Spanish or something. Because Dominican women, this is something that I believe to be true. Dominican women prefer to date a Dominican man. Okay, because Dominican men are like, they understand the culture. They speak the same language. Like they have this machismo factor to them that Dominican women love. Like the same way the sisters love that gangsta power ghost looking type of guy, is the same way these women love a gangsta Dominican guy, right? They love that. However, Dominican men don't got money like that. So they go after the gringos because the gringos got money. And then when they get bored of the gringo, on the side, they'll be cheating on him, whether that's in the DR or here. And then once they see the coast is clear, they got a kid or two out of you. They see everything is sealed. Everything's good to go. From that moment on, they're going to manipulate their way to get out of that relationship and ruin your life and take half of your shit. And that happens a lot. That happened, honestly, guys. I'm not going to say no names. It happened to a family member of mine very recently that brought a girl here from the Dominican Republic, and he immediately regretted it. Right now, this guy's living in an attic because basically he screwed up. Guys, he even told me himself not to ever bring a Dominican woman to the United States or date a Dominican woman, because they will ruin your life, right? It starts off great and you're in the, the happy, what's it called? The honeymoon phase. And then the minute you bring her over here, things are going to change up and she's going to ruin your life and take everything you have. And she's going to have no remorse. And it happens a lot. And this is why the word chapiadora gets associated with Dominican women. And this is why when you speak to any Latino in the Latin American community and you mention a Dominican woman, the first thing they're going to think in their mind is she's toxic. Stay away from her. She's toxic. She's entitled. She talks back. She's masculine. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but Dominican women are very masculine. I don't know if you noticed. Sometimes Dominican women could be more masculine than a Dominican man because they just got that attitude. Like they're trying to scrap. They're trying to talk back. They're trying to argue. They're trying to gossip. They're trying to, like, why would you guys want to be associated with a woman like that? That's that combative and that argumentative and that masculine. And like I said, you guys don't notice this because you're not hanging around enough of these girls for long enough and you don't understand the language. So you just assume because she's cooking and cleaning and giving you the 𝐾𝐿 3000 that alone means that she's a good woman when you don't really know her like that. And then God forbid you married a girl, bring her here, and you're going to find out real quick that she's not like the way you thought she was. Right? You're going to make fun of me right now for watching this video and be like, oh, Jamie lying. He don't know what he's talking about. I'm different. I got a different girl. And then it's going to happen to you. And then you're going to come back to this video like a fool and be like, damn, Jamie was right. But you can't say I didn't warn you. You can't say I didn't warn you. Okay? So, guys, listen. I wanted to make a short and sweet video for y'all right now. Be very careful. This doesn't mean every single one of them are like that, but a lot of them, most of them are like that. I'm not even going to like sugarcoat it. All right. I'm going to generalize this. Most of them are kind of like that. Okay. They're taught from a very young age to go dig and use men for everything they got. Okay. If you guys don't believe me, date one from the island and date her for long enough and you'll see for yourself. Okay. And you can't say I didn't tell you otherwise. If y'all want a Dominican woman, just date a girl here in the States. There's plenty of great Dominican women here that are making their own money that will not ruin your life in the way that these girls in the island will. All right. That's one of the few exceptions I will make is if you're trying to find a Dominican woman, you're just better off dating a Dominican woman here. Okay. And if you don't believe me, ask any Dominican person, whether that's a man or woman that's living here in the United States that knows better. Ask them. Okay. Better yet, go over there to the DR and ask the local men about them. Ask the local men about the Dominican women out there and watch what they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you, be very careful. All right. These girls ain't shit. All right. So if you guys are out in the DR in Sosua, Puerto Plata, wherever, Santo Domingo, and you meet a Dominican shawty, it's just recreational use. Okay. Just learn after me. It is just recreational use. Have your fun, chill with her, go out to dinner with her, get a foot massage, whatever. And you move on to the next. It is not worth keeping them in your life because trust me, they will ruin it. All right. You heard it here first. But guys, that is the video for today. And peace out. Until next time.